Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, hit like, share and link. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, home of the champions. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, hit like, share and link. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Golden Rams Buzz Podcast, home of the champions. When I need a scoop on the league, I hit up the dream team. Golden Rams Buzz.
Welcome to another episode of the Golden Ram Buzz Podcast, sponsored by Navarro's Taqueria, La Brea Bakery Bread, Recover 180, and also the Golden Ram Barbershop. Today, our guests will be the leading ladies of Mob Squad, Christy, Cookie, and Erika. Welcome, Sal, to another episode. The Rams have won 2 games in the last 10 days. The first game they won was a shootout versus the Bills, 44-42. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns, 3 rushing, and 3 throwing. It's the first time in NFL history, Sal, that both teams combined scored over 80 points with no sacks and no turnovers. Josh Allen, is he the MVP?
Well, for me personally, I've never been a fan of personal accolades. He could win MVP, but I'd be more concerned with winning a Super Bowl. And so for the Rams are more team-oriented, so the Rams are about winning a Super Bowl. I like Josh Allen, but they lost. He had 6 touchdowns, but they still lost. You play to win the game. And for me, Josh Allen, he's great, but Lamar Jackson's just as good. And I think that when you focus on just personal accolades, it takes away from the team.
I owe the Ram fans and you an apology because I said I did not want to be in a shootout with the Buffalo Bills. I said, no, I wanted the Rams to grind it out, run the ball, time of possession, win 21-17. Mm-hmm. I was very mistaken. It was a shootout. It was a shootout, and then it was an entertaining game. But how do you feel, Sal? Do you like shootouts like that? Or because somebody asked me, what game did I like better? The game versus KC or the game versus the Bills? My opinion, I like the KC game better, but go ahead.
Yeah, me personally, I like these kind of games. I like the fact that the Rams show that they can beat you anyway. They could beat you in a shootout, or they could beat you in a game like against the Niners, a physical game. And to me, that's a well-balanced team. The Rams, pretty much, the Rams played well, but there was a couple of, I never complain or like to complain about the rest, but that first drive by the Bills, there was 3 penalties on against the Rams that pretty much, set the Bills up for their first score. So, nobody gave the Rams a chance going into that game. Everybody, even Ram fans were like, oh, one guy didn't even show up. Oh, I know we're going to get blown out. What kind of fan is that? I think it's important to support your team, win or lose, but I always feel like we're going to win every game. And so for me, it just feels different here being in first place after the beginning of the season. Remember, we were talking about it, and nobody gave the Rams a shot, right? And I kept saying, you know what, don't confuse an injured team with a bad team.
Because the Rams...
You saw it at training camp, Damon. You saw what we saw, right? I knew when the Rams broke camp what this team was about. So now it's like people ask, are you surprised? No, because I knew what they were going to do. Now that you're healthy, completely different.
And it's kind of interesting because when the Rams were 3-6, we suck. Get rid of Cooper Kupp. Get rid of Matthew Stafford. Fire Chris Shula. Sean McVay shouldn't be calling plays. Yeah. And all of a sudden the Rams are 8-6. Oh, Super Bowl. Hey, we're gonna win. Everybody get yours. See how life is. It's like that. Yeah. That's why you've been saying it since we've been doing the podcast. I love when you say this. NFL is a marathon, not a sprint. Relax. Nobody's been eliminated after week 5 or 6. Even when the Rams are 1-4, 3-6, you kept your composure. You told it. They could rewind the go past episodes. Yeah. You always said, watch what happens when the Rams get healthy. What's your saying you have? You believe in who? What do you always say every podcast? You put your trust in who, you say?
For me, Coach McVay, I've always been a huge fan of Coach McVay. And also the way he handles, people always look at him and think he's just like this offensive, minded coach. But I've never seen a coach, and I've followed Rams 55 years. I've never seen a head coach bring a team together. And it's funny because he's worked with veterans, worked with rookies. The Rams are doing this with, walk-on, players that weren't even drafted, and they're starting now for the Rams. So the evaluation and also the vetting that the Rams do, it's super impressive. And I think that a lot of fans, it gets overlooked by fans, even Ram fans, that, they don't realize what they're watching. it's a beautiful thing to see the Rams come together as a team.
Now, we have the shootout with Buffalo, 44-42. We win that game. And then we go to Santa Clara. Weather's not good. And it's a defensive struggle. And my man Cardi, 4 field goals. The Rams win 12-6. The Rams beat them, dismantled them so bad that Greenlaw came back. And then the guy from the Niners walked off the field, didn't want to come in. The Rams win 12-6. They sack Brock Purdy. He didn't look so pretty. Three times.
Yeah.
Williams with the interception. The Rams win 12-6. Now, somebody asked me, "Come on, that game was terrible." I said, the Rams won. I mean, it doesn't bother me if the Rams win 12-6, 2-0, 9-0. I liked it. I liked that defensive game because something about the Rams manhandling the Niners. I just like Debo couldn't get it started. Of course, they missed a lot of players, but we missed a lot of players beginning of the year. So you can, nobody. This is NFL. People are always hurt and injured. You know. So the Rams came in. They beat them 12-6. The Niners are not eliminated yet, but they're on the brink of elimination. What did you think about that game?
That actually was one of my favorite games of the season. Because
Thank you.
That rivalry has been going way back for many, many years. And like I said, the Rams, I call them the all-terrain Rams. We can win in any type of weather. The funny thing is now, as people will see as the season plays on, when the Rams opened up the season against the Lions, right? The Rams took the Lions to overtime in Detroit on Sunday Night Football for the first, game of the season opener. The Rams are a lot better team now. And now the Lions are starting to suffer a lot of injuries, right? And the Rams are getting healthy. So I always say it's better to get healthy and get hot at the right time. That's what the NFL is about. It's about getting hot at the right time. It doesn't matter what your record is. The Patriots went undefeated, and they lost to a wild card Giants team in the Super Bowl. So stats and stuff, that never sways me one way or another. I know what the Rams are about. I know how the Rams are built, and the Rams are ready for this next run, which is going to be interesting.
So the Rams are 8-6. They're on a winning streak, 3-game winning streak. Last year, they're on a winning streak as well, which suffered in Detroit. Now, I know we take one game at a time. But do you know if the Rams? I'm not saying. Hopefully it happens.
You know one thing that's really funny about that?
Yes.
Because people always say that. Oh, one game at a time. I'm like, have you ever seen a team play 2 games at a time?
Yeah. Never. You can't play 3 games at a time.
Exactly.
But I'm saying
to say one game at a time, the Rams are prepared.
Yes.
For it. I mean, the way a lot of people, it's a trap game. No, the Rams are
prepared.
The Rams are prepared. Believe me.
And I'm saying, like, when I say one game at a time, because if the Rams go on a 7-game winning streak, say like they win the next 7 games, you know what that means? If the Rams win the next 7 games,
Well, it's so hard because the Rams could win the next couple of games, but that doesn't mean that these other teams are going to win too.
Do you know
other teams can? So the seeding isn't even. I don't even look at the seeding because it's not really going to matter right now.
But the Rams are 8-6. Do you know what happens if the Rams go on a 7-game winning streak? What that equals, Sal?
Oh, just like we said from the beginning, huh? The number of wins, right?
7 wins away. The Rams win 7 straight games. Super Bowl champions. I know. It's 8-6, but I'm saying they got the Jets, they got Arizona, Seattle, playoffs, a wild card, division, NFC Championship game, Super Bowl. 7 game win. Hey, going to win the next 7 games, they're champions. Now it's funny. Let's talk about the seeding in our division. The Rams are 8-6. Seattle's 8-6. Arizona 7-7. San Francisco 6-8. Nobody in our division is eliminated. We begin of the year, we said the Rams are going to go 12-5. I want them to end the season 11-6. The next game's against the Jets. You said it. Some people think it's a trap game. What are your thoughts on that game going into?
Well, the Rams are going to be tested. It's the NFL. Any team, these teams have pride. You saw where the Giants were able to. I mean, not the Giants, the Jets last week, where you saw, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. I mean, they hooked up, and the second half was like, it was huge.
Yeah.
Any team can do that, and the Rams know that. But anytime the Rams go back to New York, where they play Giants, Jets, you look traditionally, the Rams have always struggled in those in New York, whether it be Giants or Jets. So I expect it to be another ugly other game. But if the Rams win 21-14, I'm good.
Like I said, it doesn't matter how you win the game. It could be ugly. It could be pretty. The most important thing is getting that W. and I want to win the division because we're down in the bottom and 1-4, 3. Oh yeah, this is gonna give up. People want to throw in the towel. I wish I could have the old tweets and just have Angel throw them up, but putting people like everybody who's talk noise,
on blast,
all the text messages I got from people, opposing team fans, Angel, but like, what is this? I'll be like, just scroll because I have it. They're like, you're done. I said, no, it's not over. I never forget 3-6, that Minnesota game. Like somebody came to me who shall remain nameless. Damon, if Minnesota beats us, Cooper Kupp's gonna get traded, and Stafford. This could be Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford's last game. I'm like, what?
We were gonna
I'm like, why are you even saying that to? Like,
they were gonna trade Matthew Stafford for Sam Darnold, and then Cooper Kupp was gone. He was going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, all this stuff. Now it's just.
But the funny thing is that people keep receipts.
I keep
And
receipts.
For me, it's like, I always look it up. I've said, I've seen your work. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a loud man. I can tell people like, hey, remember that time? Yeah. I got the proof.
But I think the crazy thing too, Damon, is that these fans forget, like Cooper Kupp, these are people's lives you're talking about. These are all rumors that it doesn't help the team at all. That's why you always hear the Rams say in the locker room, the Rams, it's inside out. They don't care what the media, what the public and fans, anything. They know they play for each other, and that's what makes the Rams so dangerous.
And like you said, I don't know if you mentioned it today, but you said you trust Sean McVay, Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, and Kyrie Williams. That's what you always been saying the whole year, right? Did I say it right? I don't want to mix up your words.
I always say I would take Coach McVay, Matthew Stafford, Kyrie Williams over any head coach, quarterback, running back in the NFC.
Yes.
And it's funny now because people keep talking about Goff. Rams traded Goff for a reason. And you know what? I mean, Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl. And, I'm happy for Goff, but he's not in the same class as Matthew Stafford. But all these young fans that play fantasy football and they go by numbers, they're very misleading. I don't care how many. You can't throw 5 interceptions in a game and win.
And then he threw 5 touchdowns and lost.
Right, but that's how crazy numbers are, right?
Because you said it. You said it one time. You said you could be down, said like their Buffalo was killing them. Yeah. So it's like garbage, like just throwing up passes, because you're down by like 21 points. You got to pass. And that's all it is.
Yeah, your stats are going to be impressive, but that doesn't, to a true measuring stick of any team is wins and losses. That's how you judge a team, right? You take over a team, first thing you look at is wins and losses. You decide, you look at the head coach, you look at the quarterback. These are all basic, basic components when you look and evaluate a team. And the Rams have been solid from the ownership down. You look at the Bears, when a team's in shambles, it all starts from ownership down. Kroenke has been nothing but good to L.A. since he moved the Rams here. You have the right GM, head coach. Everyone that works for the Rams have the same attitude. He'll pay whatever as long as you perform. And if you don't perform, then you'll be replaced. But the Rams have a standard, and they expect that from every player.
I'm going to go over the NFC West playoff standings. I know you don't like standings because we still have a while to go, but Detroit.
Well, I like the standings when we're first
when we're first place. Let me talk about the NFC.
But even better,
I'm trying to host 2 or 3 playoff games.
Yeah, but even better in first place in the 49ers and last place. Think about this. When the season started, everybody had the Niners, right, in the Super Bowl playing Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I kept saying it's going to be the Rams against Kansas City.
I said it too. Yeah.
And I still say it now. And people are like, oh, no, it's not going to happen. Okay, keep thinking that. But I'll tell you what, the NFC teams, they know what the Rams are about. And but the Rams just, think about this, and it sounds crazy too, but I tell people this, like, everybody loves Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was everything for the Rams. Mm-hmm. But it was always, for how many years was it Aaron Donald and then a bunch of guys? And I tell people this, I like this defense better because now instead of having one great player, one legend, and then a bunch of, bodies, now you have young players. You have guys, 4 or 5 players that are all coming at the quarterback, and they're all young, right? So look at the game when the Rams played the Saints. When you look at the time of possession, the Rams defense was on the field almost the whole first half, right? Usually that's a recipe for disaster in the third and fourth quarter, especially when you have a good running back like Alvin Kamara, right? So, but the advantage the Rams had in that game was they're young. And so how did the game end in the sack, right? The Rams shut it down when it mattered most.
How did the Niners game in?
That's why this team is so...
How did the Niners game in? And it's sack,
right?
So yeah, two different. We beat the Saints, grimy 21-14. We beat the. I love this defense. I love this
Right. And
defense.
so you look at the Rams. Like look at the defense. Like they say, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So everyone's focusing on Puka, everyone else, but quietly, like the Rams defense is starting to come together. And I tell people this: I actually enjoy watching the Rams defense just as much as I like watching their offense. Because I mean, you see all these different. Every week, it's someone new.
Yeah.
Right. And the Rams are right where they need to be, but they're only getting better every week. So super excited about
These are the NFC playoff standings as of now. 1 seed Detroit, 2 seed Philly, 3 seed Tampa, 4 seed Rams, 5 seed Minnesota, 6 Green Bay, and 7th Washington. If the playoffs started today, the Rams will play Minnesota, and all those Viking fans will come back. Hey, I like that. I wouldn't mind seeing that matchup again. Hey, I don't care who we play. We could play Minnesota. We could play Green Bay, because I know 3 teams from that division are going to make the playoffs. For our division, maybe it's still could. I don't know if they could be 2 or not because the Rams.
I think it'll just be the NFC West.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited about this, man.
Be the NFC West title, yeah. Whoever wins the NFC West title will be in the playoffs. Yeah.
Now,
but to me, I really don't care who they play as long as we get in the playoffs.
All I want is the playoffs host 3 home games, Because, I mean, one time we're the 4th seed. And, wait, the last time we won the Super Bowl, remember we were the 4th seed, Sal? Or the 5th seed?
Yeah. Well,
because we had to go on the road, and then some things happen.
But see, that's why it's so hard to predict.
Oh, yeah, we had the first game against Erika.
You don't know what teams are going to.
Yeah, you don't know, yeah.
Like when Cowboys won, right? Cowboys have the best record, and they lose to Green Bay. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen,
And once the number 1 seed gets knocked out, then
because the number 1 seed has a bye the first week, so Detroit or Philly's gonna have a bye.
They don't have to play.
And then in the NFL, you only. I mean, if you're going, say like Philly's won like 7 or 8 in a row. So like they go in the season, then they end up number 1 seed. Then they take a week. Remember the Indianapolis Colts used to always happen to the Colts. Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison be the number 1 team, and then lose the first round. So.
And I think that, believe me, out of all the NFC teams, the last team that would want to face the Rams is the Lions.
Yeah,
I guarantee that much. They may say, you can look at the record, how many points they're scoring and everything. I guarantee you the Rams match up better with the Lions than any of those other NFC teams. So it'll be interesting to watch it unfold.
With that being said, we're going to take a commercial break. Up next, leading ladies of Mob Squad, Chrissy, Cookie, and Erika.
Perfect.
Welcome back. Join us now, the leading ladies of Mob Squad, Cookie, Christy, and Erika. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Give yourself a round of applause.
Thank you for having us.
Okay. Now, you are the president of the leading ladies of Mob Squad.
Yes.
You are the vice president of the Mob Squad.
Yes.
And you are?
Vice president of the leading ladies.
What? Welcome. So I have a question. Let me start off with you.
Okay.
Tell me about the leading ladies of Mob Squad. How did it come about? Stuff like that.
We just wanted a space for women that love football. When we started the Mob Squad, we just wanted women to feel comfortable and come and join the tailgates, they want to come and go to go to the tailgates, and it like a safe space for women, and whether you had your partner or you were single, especially the single women,
yes.
And without feeling like I guess because it's a men dominant sport, so without feeling kind of intimidated by men, or so that's how we became.
Now, how'd you guys all meet each other?
At the tailgates, at the games, at the watch parties.
Okay, what year did you guys meet each other? 2016 when the Rams came back, or was there?
No, I met the girls in 2022.
2022. Now, when did you guys all become Rams fans? Let's start off with you this time. When did you become a Rams fan? What made you a Rams fan?
Well, I'm only a Rams fan because I'm born and raised in LA.
Okay.
And I will never root for another city's team. I'm LA born and raised, so it's only LA teams for me.
Okay.
And I never followed football when I was younger, but in 2014 I dated a man who actually introduced me to the love of football.
Okay.
And I always knew, this is LA. Sooner or later we're going to have a football team. And in 2016, when we got the Rams back, I got a team. And I'd go to the games and to the tailgates at the Coliseum, but I didn't actually meet these lovely people till 2022.
Okay, now you said 2014 you were dating a guy that got you introduced to football. Know what you know now. Tell me your favorite Rams player and one of your favorite games you attended or seen live on TV or anything.
I mean, it's
I'm gonna ask you guys
hard.
all
It's
that
not-
question.
It's
So
hard
okay,
to just pick one.
okay,
But I mean, like, because we have so many great players presently. I mean, where do you start? There's Puka, there's Stafford, there's Cooper Cup, there's Kyron Williams. You can't pick just one. And then there's the past players. There's Aaron Donald. There's Todd Gurley. There's Greg Zerline was always a favorite of mine.
Did you say Greg Zerline, the
I
field goal
did.
kicker?
Greg the Leg.
Greg the Leg.
Yes, Greg the
I-
Leg.
hey, I haven't heard
He made me
any-
happy on more than one occasion.
Hey, you know what? Greg the Lake did come through on that 58-yarder
Yes,
against the Saints.
yes.
So
And then the same thing with the games. How do you pick just one? Of course, there's the Super Bowl. Of course, there's the game at the Coliseum versus the Chiefs. And then there's every time we beat the Niners. Home or away, that's always a favorite. So, I
that's
mean,
good.
yeah.
Okay, and yourself? What made you a Rams fan, or you ever same thing?
So in the fall of 2012, my boyfriend, which is Galavera Ramchero from the Los Ramcheros,
Okay,
he took me to the first like booster club which was SoCal Rams at the time. So we went out there, you know, he showed, I was like, wow, all these people, you know, rooting for the same team. And it was just one big party. And I was totally blown away by basically everybody's like, you know, everybody having a good time. And I'm like, okay, I didn't have a football team.
okay.
So I was always a basketball and a baseball fan. So to me, when I jumped in, I jumped 2 feet in. I'm like, no more playing softball on Sundays. We're watching football.
Oh, wow.
I was totally in it. So fast forward to like the whole COVID year, we got together at Zendeja's restaurant, which had an outdoor patio. And so that's where the whole idea was like, you know what, let's start our own club, because a lot of the other booster clubs were kind of like taking a little backseat because of COVID. So we're like, you know what, let's get this started. You know, some of the guys had an idea, we took it, we ran with it, and here we are today. You know, we're putting on toy drives, we're,
Wow.
you know, doing fundraisers, we do cancer walks, we do so many good things for the community. So
That's
yep,
amazing.
that's where we're at today.
Presidente? What you made you a Rams fan? Favorite player, favorite game, or
Well, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
I became a Rams fan when they came back to LA.
okay, 2016. Okay,
I followed football, but didn't really have a team. But when they announced that LA was getting a team, I'm like, I don't care who it is, I'm jumping in. And it was the Rams, so that's how I became a Rams
now are
fan.
you guys all season ticket members as well?
Yes.
You guys all sit next to each other?
No.
Okay.
No.
What?
We always find each other. we do.
And you guys tailgate every Rams home game.
We
Yes.
tailgate
What time do you
every
guys get in
home
that
game.
tailgate line?
We are out there at 6 a.m.
Okay.
in line waiting to get in, and we talk about it a whole week in advance, and it is a whole thing.
Well, sometimes depends on the game, because I've been there at 5:30, 5 o'clock.
5:30, yeah,
Yes.
depends
Oh,
on
against
the
the
game.
against the Niners. Yeah,
Yes.
Niners game,
Yes.
Niners or playoff game.
Mhm.
Now, talk to me about that lounge you guys have, that Leading Ladies lounge that I haven't been invited to. I seen it. Describe it to me, because I want to know how come I haven't been invited. Go ahead. Who wants to
Eric,
talk?
that was
How
Eric.
who
That
wasn't
was
invited?
all
Like,
Eric.
tell me about it. Tell me
Our
about
little
it.
idea.
It's
we
nice
just,
idea. I
like,
see a couch.
We
I'm like,
have a blow-up couch, a yellow blow-up couch. I'm looking for a blue one, so if you guys know of a blue
Amazon,
blow-up
no?
couch, I tried.
Okay.
They haven't
Okay.
found it. But yeah, and we have our little Astro tour. We decorated. We
The disco balls.
disco
Come on
balls
now.
and
Woohoo.
so you guys are called the Leading Ladies of Mob Squad. Are there men in this Leading Ladies of Mob Squad thing, or is
well,
it just
not
you
the
three?
No, I mean it's just basically like it's the club.
Okay, the Mob
club,
Squad,
The Mob
okay.
Squad, and then we just started like it's basically like our own little clique.
Okay.
The Leading Ladies.
Is there
for
just
the girls?
is there more than 3 of you, or is there
Oh,
any more?
yeah, there's like maybe more than
More
like
than
about
20.
more than 20, about
Yeah.
25
Okay,
of us.
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's amazing. So you guys all just click up, met each other, and you guys are just doing a great job.
We do it.
Follow you guys on social media.
Mhm.
I love this shirt. Look at this. I need me a blue one. I'm gonna wear this to tailgate. So what do you guys do? What do you guys think about the Rams Niner game recently on Thursday?
Oh, this is awesome.
It was great.
Yeah.
Anytime we could beat them, and then we
Yeah.
could throw out the whole bang bang choker gang.
Especially
It's-
at their home.
Yes.
Now let me ask you guys: when the Rams were 3-6, I want your honest opinion. When the Rams were 3-6, what are your thoughts? Somebody go ahead. So
My thing was,
Go ahead, give it.
we're just starting. We are just starting. The season's just starting. They're gonna come back, and we're gonna come back.
okay.
We're gonna make the playoffs.
You weren't saying it was no doom and gloom. So if I
No,
go on
no,
social
I mean-
media and look up anything, I won't see no old
No,
tweets or
no,
text
not
messages
at
or.
all, not at all. I mean, yeah, it was disappointing, and that when we lost to the Cardinals was a little embarrassing.
Well,
but
but we had a lot of injured players
Yeah.
at
Thank
the
you,
time,
thank you,
so
yes.
yeah,
Yes.
But I mean, I knew we'd be back.
yeah.
Okay. Your thoughts on that? When you were 3-6, or did you ever lose hope on the Rams?
No, I never lose hope. I'm always like I take it, day by day. When people talk trash, I just, and I'm like, I'm still a Rams fan. Like, you're not gonna get to me, and I knew that there was always faith that we could get there. So.
Now, you guys excited about the primetime game they just announced?
Oh yeah.
Rams,
We are
Cardinals.
ready.
12 tailgate line opens, but we'll probably be there at 8 o'clock. You already know lined up
We
on.
will be
Yeah.
there
You guys will
early.
be there. Well, ladies, thank you for being our guests. Give them your handles. You want them to follow you? Anything you want to promote? I know you got the lead ladies of Mob Squad. You want to give people your handle? You can, or it's up to you.
For what?
You want them? You guys have an Instagram page,
Yeah,
right?
we have Instagram. We have Leading Ladies of Mob Squad. We have Mob Squad Inglewood. We have Mob Squad Booster Clubs. You follow one, you'll follow all. You'll see all of our content. We're all tied in together.
We have a watch party coming up with the Jets.
Where?
For the Jets game at King of Wings in Lawndale.
That sounds good. King of Wings.
It is good. It is good. So
And Mob Squad is all about fan unity. So all fans are always welcome to our
Yes.
tailgates and to our watch parties.
With that being said, lead ladies of Mob Squad, Cookie, Christy, and Erica. Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
Rams
One
house.
more time. Whose house?
Rams house. Let's go.
Thank you for joining us. Great segment with the ladies, Christy, Erica, and Cookie. Just to see how they all come together, and there's fans everywhere. And they're right about women, because a lot of women are intimidated, to come to a tailgate. They could be intimidated and stuff like that. Don't know what to expect, but, they're making it for ladies. I like what she said, like making it more for females, to come through. It's okay to be fans.
Yeah. I mean, for us Ram fans, especially the fan base, it's so nice to see, some of the women like be involved and step up and keep a lot of the Ram fans
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of women I know, they do feel intimidated, like going to a sports bar where they don't think they're going to know anyone, or go to a football game, tailgate. But everyone is really friendly, and it's nice that they stepped up and welcome everybody, and that's huge. And for me, it's pretty exciting that for us Ram fans to watch them help build the fan base.
I like
Amazing.
this shirt too. I'm asking for a blue one, a sweater. I'm gonna wear this, boy. Lily, it's a Mob Squad,
Yeah,
boy.
nice.
Let's finish up with the show, Sal. I'm gonna go off the AFC playoff pictures because Buffalo, they think it's a collision course between Buffalo and KC. So I'm gonna go over through the standings. Tell me what you think. So this is a playoff picture as of now. KC number 1, Buffalo number 2, Pittsburgh number 3. They already clinched, I believe. Houston number 4, Baltimore number 5, Denver, and the Chargers. Now, what do you think about this picture? Do you think AFC, KC, Buffalo, mark it down is going to happen? Or do you think some upset may happen? Pittsburgh, Chargers may do something?
Yeah, there's always going to be an upset. One of them will be knocked out early. But I think, I don't know, I think something about Pittsburgh Steelers.
Now, you
Like I
said
told
that.
you
You've been
at the
saying that the
beginning,
whole year.
yeah.
And you know what would be funny? I want Rams, KC, obviously. But if it's Rams, Steelers, hey, that's kind of historic because that's
I'll
from
take
19.
Rams anybody.
Yeah, I'll take Rams anybody. I'll take it. I want Rams anybody. Now, I'm going to go over the last. These games are important to us. I'm not going to go through every game. I'm going through the main games that affect our division. Cards, Panthers, Niners, Dolphins. And then, of course, Seattle plays. I believe Seattle plays Minnesota, right? So what do you think about that? Cards, Panthers. Panthers been playing better.
Yeah,
Local boy Bryce Young. You think the Panthers can beat the Cardinals?
Definitely, they could.
Yeah? You think?
Yeah, I mean, Bryce Young is starting to come on. It's so funny how, people were so quick to give up on the guy. I mean, everything that he's accomplished from high school, college, and now in the pros, he's very capable of, he's a winner.
Yeah.
So I'm glad and I'm happy for him. But right now, they're quite capable of beating the Cardinals.
Dolphins, Niners. This is a friendly game because Shanahan and the coach of the Jets, the coach of the Dolphins are buddies. He used to be with the Niners. What are your thoughts on that? If the Dolphins beat the Niners, they're officially done. I thought we buried them. All we did was got the shovel in the dirt. We need the Dolphins to beat them. What do you think about that game? You think it'll be a Think anybody walk off the field for the Niners this week?
Yeah, it's tough when, but that's another thing. Watching a player quit on his team, that's crazy. But that's only a byproduct of that whole organization. They're struggling.
I remember you said this a while ago. I meant to bring this up to you. You said things that happen in organizations wouldn't happen with the Rams. The Rams are just get rid of players. Like as soon as you start grumbling or talking, the Rams will get, it's okay, bye, get rid of you,
Yeah, and I was saying, like, when they were talking about when the Niner receivers all wanted new contracts, right? I mean, Brandon Ayuk was talking about a new contract right after they lost the Super Bowl.
And now what happened to him?
Yeah. But I said, the Rams aren't structured that way. That we, not me is real.
It's real, yeah.
And the players buy into that. And so one guy commented, he said, "Oh, what about Ramsey?" He started talking. I said, "Yeah, but is Ramsey a Ram anymore?"
Nope.
The Rams got what they wanted from him. And when you're going to start being a distraction, that's the time to,
Did the Niners cut
Teams will only put up with you until they can replace
The Niners didn't even cut the guy. They just kept him. They said he's going to spin him for the next.
Well, because
there's only 3 games left.
Right, but the reason why they didn't, because you still have the players' union, all this.
Yeah.
If they cut them, they're going to have to pay his whole salary.
And also, what my friend Ray Green,
But they did take down his locker and his name tag, so he's not going to play.
Did you? I didn't know he was a captain for Green Bay last year. Ray Green informed me. Ray Green's like, no, the guy played for us last year.
Yeah.
We got rid of him. Niners pick him up. Now you go to a team, Greenlaw's out, possibly could come back, and then he comes back and of course he's going to play. He's an all-star caliber player, and now you're fussing because you took your spot and you don't want. I mean, how do you think about all that?
Well, I mean, it's hard to kind of like put yourself in a player's.
Yeah.
I mean, I could understand for him. Thinks he found a home. He started, the majority of the games. You're feeling good, and then all of a sudden, Greenlaw comes back, and, he's going to start.
Okay, Sal, Higbee's coming back. Is he going to start? Isn't Higbee off the injured list? And he's so.
Right, but see, what it's all about, like I said, it's all about character. The Rams wouldn't. The Rams don't bring people like that to the organization.
And now, speaking of the Rams, the best game of the day this Sunday, Rams-Jets. Thoughts on the game?
Yeah. I think it'll be a lot tougher than, at least I'm anticipating it to be a lot tougher than a lot of Ram fans think. But as long as we win, that's all I worry about.
Yeah.
So I'd be satisfied with, like I said,
Will it be a shootout, Sal, or it'll be defensive struggle?
It won't be a shootout.
So, yeah, it'll be like a
struggle.
21-17 game.
But I expect 3 or 4 sacks.
Oh, yeah.
On Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. With that
he's not used to that type of pressure.
With that being said, another episode of the Golden Ram Buzz. Big shout out to the leaders of Mob Squad as our guest, Cookie, Erika, and Christy. Big shout out to Navarro's Taqueria, Recover 180, Golden Ram Barbershop, Moss Altos Creative Agency. Whose house?
Rams house.
Whose house?
Rams house.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Always,
Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast. Hit like, share, and link. Who's how, Rams how, you know who we rollin' with. Rams Buzz Podcast. Home of the champions.